Shall I press a button?
Do we want... unless somebody says no in the next few seconds. Tick, 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 tick. Sure, press a button.
Button is pressed.
And the cat yawned at me and distracted me. Hi, this is Beth doing the GURPS Wars, a GURPS Star Wars homebrew with Crash and Ellie and EO, and amazingly, there wasn't a whole huge bunch of pre-chatter to get into, so, wow. What happened last time?
I was asked to pick a lock, and I did. And I didn't even use my lightsaber to do it.
Indeed.
Half of me appreciates and half of me kind of wishes you had, because then we probably would have had a fight.
And this floorboard is creaky, and this one is creaky, and this one is creaky. Otherwise known as I kept failing stealth checks and perception checks.
You found all the creaky floorboards.
Well, everyone else realizes I found every creaky floorboard. I also kept failing perception checks. You kept asking me to make them. I kept failing them. I went to another room. I was asked again. I failed again. I did manage to barricade our 3 civilians into the room with telekinesis other, because that's a role I am less likely to fail.
Indeed, because you have been boosting up your telekinesis.
Yes, I am a glass cannon. I have one hammer, and it is telekinesis other. Any problem that does not look like a nail is not my problem. It's a you problem. And by you, I mean the rest of the party has to deal with it.
And speaking of the rest of the party, what was Antuxa doing last?
I was patrolling the outside and as a hard of visibility person. And noticed one of those, well, we've been calling them quadrupeds, but they don't really seem to be.
No, they're definitely bipeds.
Climbing over the fence. Have we been, what? I don't remember what we've been calling them. It was something odd.
They have beaks inside their mouths, but we can't call them bird people because there's birds that yell foos. So it's been proposed that we call them bow people because they shoot bows. We could call them future corpses, but it doesn't narrow it down too much. Anyway, yes, you saw one climbing over the fence while you were invisible. And also there's this eerie sensation that's leaking through the upstairs floor where most of us are right now, where it's like sand, it's coarse, it's getting everywhere, including in my nightmares. But I'm awake now, it's fine. Oh, and Sen found the transmitter, the comm unit, but it's plugged in and it can't reach what's ostensibly the satellite that it tries to contact.
Right. Perhaps it can reach it at a different time of day or night.
Somebody had the gall to put a satellite in orbit and not make it geostationary.
Alas.
It's very inconvenient for us. I would like to speak to their manager.
Highly. Probably a hut.
I would like to cut their manager in half for reasons unrelated to the
Lengthwise or widthwise?
Yes.
Lengthwise or widthwise?
Yes.
That's not half, that's quarters.
Well, either is good. And once I do it one way, the other way doesn't matter as much.
Well, that's huts for you.
What about diagonally? Sen, have you ever cut a hut in half diagonally?
I haven't cut a hut in half anyway.
Well, there's a first time for everything. One hopes.
Look, I realize that it is out of character for me to be the one saying this, but that's not our mission.
It's okay. It started as an out-of-character comment set in character. Anyway, I think we've done the recap. What's happening next?
Well, that is somewhat up to Antuxa because one of those horrible little creatures is coming over the fence. And because she is invisible, it does not appear to have seen her.
I will I'm going to make some assumptions here and move out of his way.
It is, in fact, coming over the fence. Are you going to just sort of let it do things?
I am backing away toward the fence. I am trying to get out of earshot before I activate my communicator.
All right.
So, Sen, Gran, we have a friend who just came over the fence. One of those creatures you liked fighting so much. And I'm not saying this sort of voce for the purpose of the recording, but Antuxa is hissing into the communicator.
I believe that Sen was in the middle of trying to figure out how to steal the comm.
Actually, I think you left the comm in there because it was a nuisance and you'd gone over to wake up Ran because of the nightmares.
You have completely reversed the order in which those things happened.
Yeah, because I had to be woken up in order to pick the lock.
Oh, okay. So in that case, you are in fact in the room at this moment. Okay, I had forgotten what you had done in that situation. Yeah. Okay,
Rand is outside the door because Rand did realize, and this is creaky, and this is creaky. So Rand was like, you know what? I'm leaving this to somebody who has any degree of stealth whatsoever. This is a bad night for me. If I'm not throwing something with the Force, it's not my wheelhouse. Sorry, if I'm not throwing something with the Force or filing Form 82/5B, Section 17, the latest one. Actually, no, I haven't been trained on the latest one. The one before that. That one is my wheelhouse. The new one I haven't been trained on yet. It's mostly the same, but they changed a few of the columns, and I'm not really sure. Never mind. Is there a second floor window that faces that way?
There is, but it's in the room that you blocked off. Let me swap to the other map so that you people can see what's going on.
As
actually,
Ellie is
I'm going
doing
to
her best to have Antuxa sneak over, we're just like, different map.
Different map. Sorry. Okay, let me see. Is there an Antuxa on this map? There is, and I'm going to drag her over. If I can make the map.
So the comm was connected to a low battery.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was connected to a large battery thing, which is a little bit, it's not great, but it's got enough that it would actually work out.
How large a battery?
It is a chonky, uninterruptible power source. It probably weighs about 20 pounds.
But it's liftable.
Yeah. You'll have a stealth penalty to haul the thing around, and it does have some moderately bright lights on it.
If I make a telekinesis other roll, can I reduce the stealth penalty?
Yes. If you're hovering the thing, if you make your teak by enough, you hover the thing or make it light as you walk.
I am trying to make it lighter while I walk.
Okay. Made by 3. All right. It rests gently in your arms as you scoop the whole thing up. I will indeed ask for another stealth roll as you make your way out of the room.
Oh.
Just made it.
Made it. Okay. Oh my
just made it. I mean, only
That's
just
better
is
than not making it.
Indeed. As you get to the door, from the bed comes a, what's up? What's up? Were you doing anything to keep the light from showing?
Probably, but I don't know what the light actually looks like.
The light, the comm unit is a flat screen, not a holo unit, and it glows. Hi, I'm lit up. Hi, I'm lit up. I'm working.
I assume that I have, if it is that part is flat screen, shoved it up my shirt,
Okay.
like screen against my chest.
Yes.
Sorry,
There
give
is-
me a moment.
Look, the light source of this thing happens to be in the same square as Sen, and the effect you added to it makes it look like kind of like a disco ball. So Disco Sen is the appropriate thing that I needed to share.
Indeed.
And every time I use the screenshot utility built into Firefox, it makes bidink sounds. So everyone listening to the recording knows exactly when I made the screenshot.
No, that's a worse color. Yeah, what's up that I need to...
Huh?
You said give me a moment and then...
Yes, I'm thinking.
Oh, okay, still thinking. That's what I was asking for.
Would it be possible for Rand to run in?
Yes, you might want to make sure you don't run into Sin, who is in the doorway.
Would it be possible for you to run in past Sten before Rufu is fully awake? Like, getting around Sen.
You would be shoving Sin out of the doorway. I mean...
I don't want to shove Sen. I value my life.
Oof. Sen is invisible.
Has decided that Sen does not want to make fast talk rolls right now, and
Sen turns invisible.
Sen will turn invisible and leave the room.
Closing the door
Okay.
behind you? I'm going to ask
No.
for a stealth roll to close if you want to do
Oh,
it.
no, I am being the opposite of stealth. I'm banging this door open as I come in. Rufu, quick! One of those things is outside right now.
So what? How'd you get in my room?
Those-
What happened to the lock?
You locked it?
What?
That's right. You
Thought
did
I
say you
locked
locked it. I just slammed the door open. You might have forgotten.
broke my
You were very
door.
tired.
What?
Anyway, quick.
Yeah.
There's a window in here.
There's a window. The window's over. He points over to the far end there, which does in fact have a window. You can, in
Hi.
fact, look out.
Oh, and I can be here where I don't have line of sight to the monster, or here where I don't have line of sight to the monster. But halfway in between, I have line of sight.
Do you want me to adjust the walls so that the walls are a little bit
No.
more
Let's just say that I'm peeking out at the right angle because real life is not divided into 5-foot squares.
indeed, it is not. How did that
Yes.
get the go away wall?
I would like to use telekinesis other to bring it up to my eye level.
Make your roll.
I
Made
made
by
it.
6. I am going to give it a dex roll to try to run out of your visual range.
By the way,
Which
I
is-
am
I'll call that
specifically.
dodge.
This isn't a force choke, but I am trying to pull it up to my eye level by its head.
I'm going to give it a dodge. Oh my god, it made it. It made by 4.
Well, I keep doing the two-step as I slide from one 5-foot square to the next 5-foot square, so it did have an opportunity.
Let's see. What is its move here? It has a move of 5. Can it get out of your vision? 2, 3, 4, 5. That does put it rather... Well, this is a window that you can, in fact, fling open with a little bit of fiddling, so you can always lean out. You have a grip on it. It is not able to move quickly. It is probably clinging to the side of the wall, in fact, as it claws itself towards the edge of the building.
So you're saying I can try again?
Yes. But it's going to take you a action or so to be fiddling with the door so that you can actually lean out and see what you're doing.
Okay,
You can make like an ESP roll to not see what you're doing very well.
Then that is what I'm going to be doing, but also that's what I have done. So let's see what everyone else is doing in the interim.
Sen, you are outside the room with a comm with the glowy parts stuffed up your shirt.
Sen would like to go downstairs.
Okay. I will briefly load this. I will find a Sen. Here's a Sen. I will make the Sen visible so that people can see the Sen. So Sen can see the Sen. Okay. I will activate downstairs. And I will move the thingy to approximately where it is. It's like half in and out of the wall, but that's because it doesn't line up. Okay, send.
That's because 5 foot squares.
That's because 5 foot squares.
Map is
you have
not
tromped down the stairs.
It's for reference. It's not to scale. It's fine.
Yeah, pretty much. Sen, you're tromping down the stairs, presumably at full tilt. You're not going to be able to get very far if we're in combat turns. So, approximately, what are you doing once you clatter down the stairs?
Heading for the kitchen.
Okay, so you're going to be looping around the fireplace.
Yeah.
And Tuxa,
Yes.
are you doing anything? It's your turn.
How big are these squares? I'm following the creature.
I figure they're approximately a hex, so...
All right, my speed is 5.
Yep, you get 5 of them, and since since they're squares and not hexes, go ahead and count a diagonal as, yeah, that works too. Use the measuring tool, that works!
Okay, and the creature is up by the window? I'm just making sure that I understand what's going on.
Okay, the creature is, as it started being lifted up by its head, it made a snarly noise and grabbed for the walls of the building and started basically scrabbling itself across diagonally, trying to get away from what it thinks has seen it. It's trying to get around the corner. So it's not very high up yet. It's probably about 3 to 4 feet off the ground now.
Okay.
You get a movement, you get an action. Sorry?
Nothing I want to do quite yet, except act disturbances to see if I can figure out if there are more of these things behind the... Oh, that -2 for range is because of the measurement that I did.
Oops. So, made it by 2.
Yeah.
You haven't noticed that the things themselves cause a great deal of disturbance. You do notice that the weird, horrible disturbance that was coming from upstairs has ceased.
Okay.
It receded quickly. It did not snap off like a light, but it pulled itself back in.
Okay. Sorry for coughing into the microphone.
Pulled itself back in like it ran a quick retreat, or pulled itself back in like somebody's slurping a spaghetti noodle?
Like the tide going out in accelerated image. In fast forward.
Somebody pulled the plug for the drain in the bathtub.
Something like.
The worst sand-filled, evil, dark side of the force bathtub. A tub of nope.
Yeah, pretty much.
And here we are without a bucket of blood. Anyway.
Well, Sen is going to the kitchen. There might be a bucket in there. You never know.
We already searched the kitchen.
Well, I mean, there's buckets, probably.
Didn't open every can, though.
That's right. There might be blood somewhere. So, Dentuxa, anything else that you want to do?
No, I don't think I have anything else I can do.
Okay, we will pass to Ran, who is undoing the window latch and flinging it open. Or pulling it in. One of those. Probably pulling it inside.
I stick my head out and say, "You there, Entuxa, what day is it?" No, I do not do that.
For one thing, Entux is invisible.
"You there, horrible monstrosity, what day is it?" "That's right, it's the day I pick you up by your head." Yoink.
Let me activate the second floor again. Let me turn off that light. Made by
I made it by 9
9
this time. Dodge this.
Let's see if it can. I rolled a dodge. I think that what it's going to do is clawed in. Let me give it a strength roll. Actually, let me give this a strength roll as a public roll.
What's going to give first, its claws or the side of the building?
The claws. It is almost getting itself around the corner, and then it slips. It loses its grip. Where would you like to yoink it?
I want it just outside of swing and hit me range, but outside the window because I want Rufu to be able to see this thing.
Okay. We're in combat time. I'm going to have to figure out. You made it by 9. Let's make that the distance that it's going. Okay. I do not want the explosion. Why is that
There's a
making
distance
explosion?
one can move on their own power, and then there's the force yoink.
That's why I was trying to figure out what the amount of yoink was going to be. I'd say about there seems right.
I can't see in the room or out of the room in this particular location.
Oh no.
You keep moving
I'm going
to
to
locations I cannot see unless I am halfway between 2 squares.
I am going to fix the window. That's what I'm going to do. There. Now you have a big window. Does this help you see?
Yes, it does. It helps very well. Thank you.
I have made a big window.
I mean, either you make a big window or I make a big window. And one of those involves and
Mhm. I sure hope that the thing picks up the whoosh and whoom.
it should, because that's being played over our speakers and it's not trying to be picked up by a mic. Discord does noise filtering for what it gets from a mic.
Excellent.
But the whole time I'm picking up, I'm like, no, you're not getting away that easy. Come here, you. And I'm like miming with my hand like I've grabbed a coconut from the top with my hand and moving it like I'm picking it up and pulling it towards me. This is 100% for show. Rand doesn't need to do this. Rand wants to do this. It's for the aesthetic.
Most people do actually twitch their fingers a little, at least, or make gestures when they're teaking. It's a thing. It helps focus the mind. Can I
in my head canon? In my head canon, Rand, twitching fingers a little bit, but Rand will frequently do that with his hands behind his back to promote a more calm, stone-faced exterior as he yoinks people around. But in this case, no. In this case, the aesthetic is, I want people who can't see what I'm doing to get a pretty good idea of what I'm doing anyway.
Excellent. Can you give me a hearing roll?
I'm assuming that's perception?
It's perception. Yep, they're all the same. So, yep, perception works.
I'm making those rolls tonight. Well, I made this one. This one I have made. There are many like it, but this one is
indeed. Okay, you're making that one. I'm going to make a private roll here. Tra-la-la-la-la. No, don't look a little screen that way. You know all those creaky floorboards?
Is Rufu coming over to say hi, or is he running out the door?
He's heading out the door.
Okay, well, that's fine too.
And closed it behind him, the jerk. So,
That determines
for
what I'm doing
amusement's
next.
sake.
I can't do it now, but that determines what I'll be doing next.
Let's go back to the first floor. Let me put the... How high up are you dangling the critter?
As high as I could pull
Like-
him in the time you gave me.
It was diagonal, so okay. About second story level then.
Okay.
All right. Level with the window that you were wanting to show off. Look what you caught, I presume.
Yes. Look what
All right, I
I've
think that's
caught.
about-
You're not here.
Mhm.
You left. Well, what am I even doing this for then?
I'm going to put the invisible... Okay. So, Sen,
Mm-hmm.
you are still running around the thingy. Let's see.
I'm
what's your-
invisibly heading for the kitchen.
Okay.
Someone's in there with Dinah.
Give me your 5 move 5, or if you've decided to start running, I think you can double move with the house rules we're using if you choose to sprint.
I'm not sure that I should choose to sprint while invisible.
That's a reasonable choice. Shall we go to Entuxa?
That's up to you.
That's what I'm asking you. Is
If
there
I'm
anything...
not sprinting, then I
you're-
don't think there's anything else I can do.
Okay. Entuxa.
I've lost track of where the thing is, except that it's right next to me.
It is above, probably above
is it
your head.
flying? Okay.
It appears to be dangling by its own head. It may or may not be getting taller. You're not in a good perspective way to tell if it's, straightening out or anything.
I imagine
Can I
it'd be
reach it?
holding onto its head because of the strain on its neck.
It's kind of weird. It's a bit difficult to tell whether it's actually bothered by this at the moment.
What was that Ellie was saying?
Can you reach
Well, I
it?
was trying to do something.
Yes. What you want to do? Up to you.
Can I reach it?
It's a second floor. You're not particularly short. You have an arm span. You can probably get to its foot if you want. Yes.
That's fine.
It's kicking a little bit. I would probably have you make a dex roll.
Okay.
Depends on if you want to grab its foot or touch its foot.
I just want to touch it.
Give me a dex roll and don't crit fail. Made by 3. You have touched. Ew, it's sandy and gritty and dirty and feels kind of horrible. Psychometry made by 6. This one is...
I just want to touch it. This is a quote by Entuxa, much to her regret.
With a made by 6, is there anything particular that you want to be aiming for, or just a general thing?
I'm looking for when this thing was created and what it was made from.
This thing was made from bones, different kinds of bones. It was made 2 or 3 days ago. There was darkness, there's clay in darkness, bones in darkness, crawling out of darkness into the hearth light, and going off with its instructions, its knowledge, its motivations. That's the right word. It had motivations in it, going off to do its motivations.
Okay.
It was probably created sometime after you people killed all of the other ones, and it was created from bones, from dead bones, from bird bones, from quadruped bones, a combination this time.
Okay.
You get an impression that it wasn't created all on its own.
That it had help in being created, or that there was more than one?
More than one. Created
Okay.
as part of a pack, a flock. It did not create itself. There was something that
That's.
bound it.
I just wanted to clarify the language there.
That is a perfectly reasonable clarification.
Okay. Do I have any indication that Rufu is heading toward the front door?
Not at this time.
Okay.
If you want to make a hearing roll for people moving around inside, you can.
I do, I think.
All right. I'm going to assess penalty, but made by 4. Might be some creaking noises inside. It's a little difficult to tell. The thing is not screeching, but it's certainly making some growly noises.
Okay. Well, I am going to back off from it,
Okay.
since I don't want to be in its way if it decides that up in the air is not where it wants to be.
Well, indeed. That's true. Sometimes Ran drops them.
And I have had my share of things, of large things dropping on me this trip.
Indeed. Although it was Sen who got the one that exploded.
I didn't know you had a per trip quota.
I think given that part of a train... Sorry.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's less the per trip quota and more that, well, bones only knit so fast.
A fair point. For the record, I wasn't planning on dropping this one and having it explode all over you. This is out of context. I don't think we have the time to have this conversation, but it's hilarious.
Anyway, that's my turn.
Okay, so, Ran.
Okay,
I will switch back to second floor.
So my thought process is I don't want to just slam it into the ground. That's how we cover Antuxa in desiccated monster bits. I don't want to take another turn sending it higher up into the air because that's just going to increase the radius of exploding monster bits. And also it might end up being a beacon to its compatriots because they don't attack by just one. I haven't been told that it was created with more than one, but we have so rarely seen only one that my assumption is there's more than one.
Indeed.
So my question is, how many things can I lift with telekinesis other at once?
You are going to be at, if they are mobile, living things, I think I want to assess a -3 per thing. If
What
they
if
are
both
immobile
things
things,
are the same thing? I want to
define.
I want to hold the head in one position. I want to hold the shoulders with another bit of my concentration, and I want
You're trying to break its
one
neck.
clockwise while the other one twists counterclockwise.
That is going to need to soak some penalties.
I didn't raise telekinesis other to 17 just so I could declare war on all cacti. I have also declared war on all cacti, but that wasn't the only reason to do that. I want to twist this thing's head off like it's the lid of a jar of pickles.
As soon as you people discovered that these things were kind of undead, you sure are treating them like zombies. Well, that's fine. -5.
And this is where I roll my first crit fail of the evening.
We'll see, won't we? Made by 6.
So made by 1.
So, made by 1. Okay. Made by 1. It certainly makes it. There's so many things that I have to do. It made a health roll by 2. I think I'm going. Actually, I should probably have made that a strength roll. Maybe I'll just make it both. Make the strength by 1. You are working on this. You will probably win eventually if you don't fail a strength roll somewhere in there. Fail a teak roll. It is remarkably sturdy, or else perhaps it doesn't actually need its vertebra in a very good position.
It's
A little
part
hard to tell.
space owl. Or spowl.
Well, you have a spulcher.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a spowl or something. It is not taking damage yet. Is there anything that you wish to do movement-wise, or are you staying there?
My job is not yet done here. So
This
I'm
is
going to
true.
hang out here until I'm given a reason to not hang out here.
Okay. Going back down the stairs to Sen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. I assume you do not care to drop your invisibility and move
Nope.
faster. Okay. Anything else that Sen wants to do?
Sun wants to make a hearing roll to see if they notice that Rufu is.
Good idea. Made by 5. Let's just make a quick little. Amazing.
You showed us a stealth skill there.
That's fine. I'll just hide. I don't care if the skill does not matter so much as how much the rolls are made by, and therefore, yeah, whatever. It's stealth 12. There's some sounds coming from upstairs. There's the creaking of what's probably Rand standing by the window. The ceiling creaks because, he's up there. Might be, there's some other creaking from the ceiling over where you had, the other side of the wall there, because that's above there is where you put all the people, all your other NPCs, the ones you're trying to keep alive. I think that a made by 5 hearing and a made by 5 stealth cancel.
Probably, yep.
Okay. And Tux's turn?
Yes, and Tux is also going to make that hearing check.
All right. Made by 6. You are, however, outside the room. There's sounds coming from inside the house. There are people moving around inside the house. There's enough people doing things. You can make out something about horrible nightmare, and you're covered in grubs. Grubs, I say, from the northernmost upper window.
I am keeping my mouth shut.
Okay.
And I'll do another detect disturbances just to see if I roll something better.
An 8. Ran is using telekinesis. Sen might be doing something around here somewhere. It's a little hard. It's hard to tell. There is a feeling that unnatural things are in the area. Probably more than just the one that Ran is dangling while leaning out the window entertained and looking entertained. Or not entertained, or something.
Determined, angry, and yes, very much enjoying himself.
While making unscrewing a jar motions.
Yes.
The disturbances are not currently being active. Manipulating the force. But there are unnatural things around, plural, if that answers the question.
Okay. Then I'm moving down here so I can keep an eye on both the thing and the front door.
All right.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Back to Ran,
Okay.
who's on the second floor, so I'm going to remind myself of this by loading at the second floor.
So the reason why I decided to opt for twisting its head off is because Tuxa was directly below it. And Tuxa has given Ran a gift.
But you don't know where Antuxa is. She's invisible.
Oh. Well, then I'm going to continue because I'm assuming Antuxa is still there, possibly trying to tickle its feet. Because I imagine Antuxa would want to poke it with a stick, but a stick doesn't work for this. And, every life day I give Antuxa more stock in a hand sanitizer company. I could just give the hand sanitizer, but no, I gave and took a stock in the hand sanitizer company because we're accountants and I understand how much that means.
Indeed.
Anyway,
Indeed.
I will continue with the twisty motions, and that's a crit fail.
You rolled a 17.
I rolled a 17, and that's not
Your
even
skill is high
counting
enough.
the -5.
Indeed. Yeah, that your hands slip and it's flailing flails and it falls, I think, is the appropriate thing there.
Oh,
As
no.
You're
As
trying
my
to
turn ends, I have something I want to say. But only as my turn ends. Please continue.
It lands. It actually lands fairly well. If it has taken damage, it is difficult to tell. And it is going to go. Let me scroll out. At double move, actually sprinting for that is a first one, the sprint. Anything you have a movement, and you certainly have things that you can say.
Well, what I'm going to say is, that usually works. Can I fit out the window?
You can fit out the window with a bit of a squeeze if you just climb out the window. You can definitely fit out the window if you whip out your lightsaber and make the window bigger.
It's harder to close the window when you open it with a lightsaber.
This is true. You can fit out the window. It'll be a little bit of a squeeze.
Ran is against opening this window that way for the same reason that Ran is against killing people unnecessarily. It is an action that is hard to undo.
This is true.
If warranted, let's go for it. But Rand's going to try to jump out the window.
All right. Is there an appropriate skill that would be hilarious for this?
Telekinesis self?
Telekinesis self would let you dive out the window. Combat adept would also do something similar.
Do I have combat adept?
What's at the very bottom of your skills there?
I thought they are alphabetically ordered, but you put symbols in front of some of them, so they're at the bottom. Telekinesis self is one higher.
That.
So I'm thinking telekinesis self would be the better choice.
Why are there two of them? I moved it. Well, that's that one, so it'll live.
Anyway, I made it by 4. I'm falling with style.
Okay. You can simply swan dive out the window if you choose to do so, and with making it by 4, you can probably manage to. All right, I don't think a full somersault, but you can certainly somersault once you get to the ground and get up.
Oh, yeah,
not quite an airborne somersault.
Not a 3-point.
You're falling with a lot of
those are hard on the knees.
Yeah,
but
those really are.
A land and roll, and then stop on my feet. Good news, everyone. We're now further apart from each other than we were before, and yet still somehow the party is split less. Because the GM no longer needs to switch from map to map.
Is that an appropriate place to put you, do you think?
That I'm fine
jumping
with.
Out.
Well,
and
I came out of this window, so I'd probably be closer to here or here, depending on how far you're willing to have me go out the window.
I think that where you are right there is fine. I mean, you hit and rolled, basically.
I'm not sure this matters. If I can do this for the aesthetic, I'd like to. If this would require additional actions or whatever, I understand. As I'm landing, can I be drawing and igniting my lightsaber and holding it out to the side?
Do you have fast draw? You do.
Might.
Roll a fast draw.
I like getting to make 3 rolls in one action.
It's cinematic. I'll go for it. Just remember other people can do it too.
Oh yeah, I made it by 4. The aesthetic is strong with this one.
The aesthetic is strong with this one. But I think it is now time for Sen to get their turn.
Oh, definitely. I have monopolized enough. I called the race.
Sen,
Sun would like to try to carefully and quietly get into the kitchen.
You left the door open from the last time you searched the kitchen, I assume, and therefore you can get into the kitchen.
Okay. In that case, I would.
Is the
I would
door
like
being
to.
a problem?
Yes.
One moment. I will fix the walls.
I would like to carefully close the door behind me.
Okay. You are in the kitchen. It is dark in here. A certain amount of light filters in through the sole window in the room. Everything would look spooky, but yeah, right, spooky. It's not Nope.
What kind of containers are in here?
There's there's boxes that are basically the equivalent of like cardboard Amazon boxes. There's some pots. There's some buckets that look like, you can put trash in them. There's a water bucket. It still has some water in it. There's some barrels and, stuff
Anything
that
in here?
somebody's picked up. Keep going.
Anything in here that looks like it would fit over my stolen goods here?
If you take out the extremely expired ready meals in one of the little box things there, then yes, you could upend the box on top of it if you wanted to.
That is probably my next turn, then.
Okay. Should we go to Antuxa?
I am biding my time.
You bide. Okay. You bide invisibly. You see that Ran has jumped out the window and landed in a completely flashy little roll there with lightsaber drawn, and yeah. You see the other critter apparently somehow slipped Ran's grasp and is running for the fence.
I am waiting to act in at least two directions, either toward the front door or toward the creature that's running toward the fence.
Okay. And you are invisible, so no one knows where you are.
Yes.
All right. Give me a moment. Let me just do a little bit of dragging. Let me make a roll. It's a private roll. Let's make that roll. That's a pretty good roll. Okay. Ran.
So one might think if I have my lightsaber drawn that I am changing tactics and attempting to run after this thing and stab it.
No, you're going to try and grab it again with your teak, aren't you?
Yes. Yes. I am going to try to, instead of having the mountain go to the hideous bird thing, I am going to pull the hideous bird thing to the lightsaber.
Considering that you failed with a 17 earlier, I am going to say that you are still at a -5 to grab it again. Is that acceptable?
You're the GM. That'll make this that
True,
much cooler if I pull it off.
Mm-hmm. Your other hand reaches out and grabs for it in the air. And
I just made it.
You just made it.
Yes.
I'm going to say with just made it that you are not yet yanking it towards you, but you have stopped its forward momentum.
Where do you think you're going? We have unfinished business.
It hisses.
Oh, it definitely turns. I'm turning it. I needed to see what's coming.
Starting to turn anyway. It is pulling out its knife.
Oh, yes. Please bring a knife to a saber duel.
Are you going to do any moving, or are you going to be dramatic?
I think it's obvious I'm going to be very dramatic, yes. I am staying right
if you're
here.
going... Okay, in that case, the other question is, are you going to permit it to move towards you on its own, digging the claws into the ground, or have you lifted it up so it cannot?
I believe I probably would have lifted it up. I don't want it to have a chance of doing anything unless I really want it to.
Understood. I'm going to make this roll for you here. Okay, and I'm going to make this roll for me. Come on, double check. Tra la 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 la. It's always useful to make the rolls. They're fun. Good idea, Antuxa. From the corner of your eye, there's another one of those monsters that is on the fence with its bow drawn. And then I think that it's a multi-action task to dump things out and put the thing over it and tidy the other things into a... Okay, so that's what you're still doing?
Yep.
Give me another hearing roll. Made by 4. Clicky. Clicky. Okay. Antuxa, your turn, and then we'll pause. Is there anything that you care to do with your particular focus at the moment?
So nobody's come out the front door yet?
No one's come out the front door yet.
Okay.
As you turn around to move, you moved. I got distracted. As you turn around to move, you see that there's another one of those critters on the fence with its bow drawn.
Okay.
And,
I'm going to have to break invisibility for this.
Okay. Lightning, made by 6.
And I'm spending 2 fatigue on it.
Okay, roll for the damage on that. Nine. I'm not giving it a dodge.
I wouldn't have known I was there until it started getting hit by lightning.
Basically, yeah. I've been playing enough PvP. I know how this works. Let's take a break.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to pause it now. The button has been pressed. We have returned. We have returned. And Tuxa zapped something. It makes a yelly, shrieky noise. However, it had been taking its turn to aim, and therefore, I think we switch back to Ron's turn now. I do go after Antuxa, but okay, yeah, I'm guessing Sen. All right, yes. If it's my turn, then I'm going to try to play a game of baseball with myself, but this monster is going to be the ball.
Okay, I'm going to ask for another teak.
My intention is to bunt. Except that...
Do we have an Antuxa turn? Something I've skipped?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how we're negotiating the turns. Sen has the highest basic speed. And Antuxa has the lowest.
Basically, what I did was Rand did the first thing, and I've just been trying to hit everybody in order for who had done something.
Okay.
On the grounds that brain, what is brain?
Fair enough. I want to be clear about this. I am holding my lightsaber out to the side of me at arm's length because while I do intend to play baseball, I do know that this thing is holding a knife.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you for another teak roll. And I think that since you're still doing the same target of the one that you failed so badly on before, I'm still going to ask you for that -5 on it. Is that acceptable? Or will you be sad at me?
You are the GM.
Does anyone else think
that has
yes, but I feel bad.
Time and time again that the most true statement we can make is no, this is funnier.
Okay. And also, you've got all of that skill. You might as well be soaking the penalties for repeated attempts, right? And you made it by 8. Yeah, okay.
Which means I made it by 3.
Handily absorbs a -5. Yep, okay. You are yoinking it. It's not as fast as you've done so in previous times. You're basically trying to yoink it close enough that you can hit it with your lightsaber.
Imagine, if you will, the lightsaber is a stationary thing that I wish to. The lightsaber is the table saw that I am pushing it towards.
Let me check a thing. Okay. How fascinating. All right. Oh, it does have one. Yeah, I don't think one. You are dragging it towards the saber.
At speed is my intention, yes.
It's probably not as fast as you would like to have it,
Well,
because apparently,
I would like for there to be a sonic boom from the speed that I yoink it, so you are correct.
let's see if I can put it about there.
Would that have it come in contact with my lightsaber? Or is that as close as I can bring it?
I think that's going to be as close as you can bring it at this time, since you are only making it by a sad 3 instead of, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Is that all right?
I am
You'd be
fine
sad
with
at me?
this and eager to find out what Sen is doing.
Sen, still in the kitchen. Depending on how hard you want to scrape those MREs into a pile that looks like, oh no, we were just in this pile. We weren't actually dumped out of a box somewhere. How tidy are you being versus how quick?
I am going to be fairly tidy.
All right. In that case, you are probably still doing this. Give me a hearing roll.
Oh, weird.
Huh?
I could see Sanoni's rolls for the first half of the session, but I can't anymore.
And now you can't? I don't understand that. Okay.
Sen is just that good at stealth.
Indeed. All right, let me see what critters have here. And Tuxa, do you mind if the critter gets its turn at this time? Since it had been doing things while no one was paying any attention to it before, now it has to actually be inserted into the rotation.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. It had a bow and arrow knocked. It was aiming at Ran. Antuxa has just zapped it. I think it's going to try to shoot Antuxa.
But it doesn't get the benefits of the aiming then.
It does not get the benefits of the aiming, but it is like 2 yards away from you, point blank.
So the arrow doesn't have any time to accelerate.
There's a fair amount of acceleration that goes on. Would you care to make... That's an interesting point. What is the range on that thing? Please tell me I have range on here. Please give me range. Range. Okay. It did, in fact, make a success. It's a point blank. Oh, God, no, I have to look at this range table, don't I? That is the worst. That is always the worst. Why do I not have the range table up? Because I was foolish. Foolish, I tell you.
Use the measuring tool.
Oh, yeah, you're 2 yards away. Oh, the measuring tool will tell me what the negative is. Thank you.
Beth, you turned off the targeting computer. What's wrong?
No penalties. Would you care to make a dodge?
I would. Is that going to cost me my action next round?
No, I believe that dodges are, even in the house rules I'm doing, dodges are still basically free.
Okay.
Unless you want to say that you're doing all out dodge and not doing anything else but dodging.
No, I'm not doing all out dodge.
I didn't think so.
I will happily do a dodge if you will tell me what I have to roll to do a dodge.
Okay, so open your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've got my character sheet up, but I just don't see it.
Drag your character sheet very open to so that encumbrance becomes encumbrance, move, and dodge.
Okay.
You see it now?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Give me your dodge.
I saw encumbrance is the first word there, and that was all my brain saw.
Yes, that's perfectly reasonable because, well,
Missed it by that much.
And that much? Oh, much is -3 for range, +3 new target. Okay. That much is 6.
Oh, I got up because I had been measuring.
Whoops. Do we need to do something with that?
What did I roll? 15?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. -3 for range, and then I corrected it by +3.
Yeah.
My dodge is 9. I rolled a 15. I missed it by 6.
Oops. 2 points of damage. That should have been a public roll. Can I make that?
Okay.
Yeah. It is technically impaling damage, which means that what gets through your that's going to be more because it's getting through. You just do a quick ouch. That's a ×2 that turns into 4.
Okay.
You have taken an arrow, not to the knee, but probably to the shoulder or, meaty part of the shoulder.
A designated
sort of the collarbone
area.
Mm-hmm. You have made your will roll by 3.
Yes, I am maintaining my equanimity.
That is reasonable. You are not shrieking horribly. Your turn.
Oh, maintaining my equanimity doesn't mean not responding.
Oh, true.
And Tuxa looks down at the injury and goes, well, this is something of an inconvenience.
You put a hole in my clothes.
I liked this outfit.
It was one of your better ones.
And I need to check something real quick. I always think this is closer to the front of the book. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to do this, and then I'm not going to be able to do any weird stuff for a while.
Okay.
But I am going to spend a fatigue ahead of time to bump my target number up by 1.
Okay.
And then I don't think anybody's actually seen me do this before. But I have moved conspicuously out of range of Ran.
Made by 7. Calling down the lightning?
Mm-hmm.
Wrath of Droman Cuss. So, how big a diameter lightning circle do you want to be? Are you making here?
It's 15 feet.
Oh, right. It's the big one.
Yeah.
Remember,
this
AoE
is
attack
5 yards from me.
Don't want to target.
So this will catch both of them, but Ran is 6 yards away from me.
Very nice. Do you care to draw a circle so that I can
Yeah.
be entertained?
Just a second.
Give me a circle. Give me a circle.
Is there a way to draw a circle from the center?
Measurement controls did that for me, I thought.
You can move a circle after you've drawn it, I think.
Create, click, and drag.
Yeah, this is...
Like that?
That works. I mean, it
looks
should
like
be
a
centered
boom.
on me, but that works for where it's hitting in the field of view.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 20-foot radius. 25 if you're including
Diameter.
the other one.
Isn't the radius just half of it?
Oh,
It's a 40. That's a 45-foot radius if those are 5-foot squares. Sorry, diameter. 45-foot diameter.
They're yard squares. They're 3-foot squares. That's what they are.
Well, then ignore me. I'm not going to math that tonight.
Math is math. I certainly
That's what
can't
we have
math
the GM
anything
for.
while the cat is trying. No, if I try to math anything, the cat will sit on the keyboard.
I've been relying on you for all the numbers except for whatever the die rolls.
anyway,
Good.
Anyway,
Don't rely on me. Rely on the die roller.
stop that.
I didn't do it. That was not me.
That will be wherever the center of the circle is that lets me catch both of the monsters, but not
Mm-hmm.
Ran.
That circle looks about right.
it's close enough for 8:30.
This is true.
Oh, must be centered within 15 feet of the caster.
Yes, it does not have. You do not
So-
have to be in the center unless you want to.
I keep thinking I'm always in the center of it. Anyway, yes, I'm casting Force Storm.
Crackle and boom. How much damage does it do to those
Uh,
caught in it?
It's 3 lightning damage to those caught in it.
Okay. That is, let me get the correct ticky. I will tick them down a little
yes,
bit.
eerie blue-purple Sith lightning courses down from the... I don't know whether it's a cloudy sky or not, but it continues to strike anything within range.
Sot, sot, sot. That's right. That's what you're doing for the next 2 turns, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And that's when you hit with lightning already, so it is starting to have to make health rolls to stay conscious. Yay! Okay. Ran, would you like to wind up and swing?
Well, that does
Or are you
seem
going to
like the apropos
give it another
thing to
yank?
do here.
Mm-hmm. It's right there. And it does not have enough range, although if you step into range, it's possibly going to get a chance to hit you as you are connecting with it. But 1 step and swing?
I'm going to sweep the leg if possible. I don't want it to be able to step outside of this force lightning.
Well, it's hanging there at the moment, so, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
You're holding it there.
I made my lightsaber.
Made your lightsaber by 7. I'm going to give it a dodge because it might be able to twist its legs out of the way, but it is not managing to do that. What are you doing? With your horrible lightsaber.
Instant weight loss program.
The worst kind. Bisecting?
If possible. But really, I just want to make sure that it's soaking up this, and I know this is going to take a lot of out of Intuxa, so I want it to be worth it.
Okay.
So where do I press to roll damage? Where are you? Lightsaber is there, but that's not damage. Lightsaber is up here.
Not carried equipment. Yeah.
Burn.
Yep.
That's 16 points of lightsaber damage.
So it is. 2, 8, 9, 16. Can you stay conscious?
I hope so. I want to stay conscious.
No, the monster's staying conscious.
Oh, I don't care about them.
Well, okay. I mean, there is that. Apparently, the answer is yes, because these things are so unnatural. It shrieketh. And unlike most things that when they're like missing a large amount of their, cohesiveness here, it is in fact going to attempt to stab you with its knife.
So
which
quaint.
Is going. That would be a success. Would you care to make a dodge?
I would love to make a dodge. Although it'd be funnier to parry, wouldn't it?
I mean, you can parry with a lightsaber. It does work.
Certainly. How do I parry with a lightsaber? Just roll a lightsaber attack?
Nah, darn it. It doesn't have parry here. I am appalled. Oh, yes, it does. It has a parry. It says your parry is 7 on it, though. You might want to dodge. Your dodge is 9.
Okay. I won't get out of dodge.
You have combat adept. You have combat adept as well, so if you spend fatigue and
I haven't
make the roll, then what you make it by ads.
32 sessions. I'm not about to start now.
Roll your
now,
9
where's that
then.
dodge button?
Okay. Expand your character sheet widthwise. Look underneath your points. So it says encumbrance, move, and dodge as the next black header down there.
And I'm picking none.
I don't know why it thinks you're picking none, because I assume you are not wearing like your entire backpack and whatnot at the moment.
I did not jump out the window while carrying my entire collection of MREs. I imagine those are somewhere in the residence.
But if you didn't, someone might eat them while you were gone.
I know their value, but I am very much aware that the civilians don't. And it might poison one of these things. I'm clicking on... Oh, I have to click the number? There we go. I missed it by one. I'm going to get stabbed.
You're going to get stabbed. There is going to be a final stab. Two of you people have actually gotten damaged. It's amazing.
What?
Wait a minute. Why does it say my
Okay.
fatigue is 8? How did I lose fatigue?
I don't know.
Has that just
Possibly
been
from
like
walking
that
through
forever?
the desert.
Oh, desert probably.
I
desert
don't
walk.
even have a horse with no name.
You have probably been resting enough to fix the fatigue. I will put your fatigue back.
Thank you.
There.
You
You're
don't
welcome.
have to, but I appreciate it. So how much damage am I taking?
Well.
4 points of damage. Oof.
4 points of cutting damage. Let me quickly double check about what cutting damage is likely to be doing. That does a 1 point times 1.5. I think that means you're taking a total of 5, unless it actually did the math for me, which would be lovely to do the math for me. No,
That's
it didn't
half
do the
my
math
points
for
from a
me.
knife.
It was a big, sharp knife. They have a lot of strength,
Knives
I'm
are
down to 5.
surprisingly deadly,
especially when you have a strength of 14.
just in general, too.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of D&D knives.
yeah. I mean, they've got the -2 there, so it rolled pretty well.
Well, in any case, I have been stabbed.
Mm-hmm. With a
You made me-
large knife. Yeah,
You made me bleed my own blood.
And I don't even have a bucket to put it in.
Speaking of buckets, Sen,
How am I doing?
you have probably put the MREs in a nice little pile that is far enough away from the box that you dumped them out of, or you put the other thing in. You have made it so that it does not look immediately like, oh, there's a little pile of MREs here, and here's a box that has been turned upside down. Huh.
Is this window a real window?
You can see through it. You can probably
yeah, but
open
Ran
it.
just okay, yeah. I want to
You
go
can
out
open
the window.
Okay, it's a window. It had, it opens if you open the latch, or you can like slam the latch open with, your, what's the word? Telekinesis. If you have telekinesis, you can hit it with, a shoulder. You can break through it. You can cut with your lightsaber. What you gonna do?
I would like to try to open it the normal way.
Flip the latch and shove
But I can close it behind me with telekinesis.
if you want to. That may take a spare moment of actual, doing a thing.
True, nonetheless.
Okay. I will move you outside. But
I am dearly entertained that we have two characters, we have two scenes going on, one of which is two characters in a desperate fight against monsters, and one of which is the bloodthirsty character indoors stacking MREs.
Yes.
We have an A plot and a B plot, and I love this.
But it's one of those great scenes in the show or the movie where you smash cut between or like the scene in all the Spider-Man movies where Stan Lee is like the librarian and he's stamping books while Spider-Man is fighting in the background.
Yes.
yes. You have gone out the window. You probably have a little bit of move left if you wish to. There has certainly been the sound. Give me a hearing roll. Don't crit fail. If you crit fail, you're oblivious. Missed by 3.
That was not quite a crit fail.
That was not
2
quite a crit
fives and a
fail, but I was a
6.
little bit concerned. I was concerned. There's some yelling and whatnot going on around the frontish area of the house, the side opposite to you.
You may or may not hear
You know what?
Rand being indignant.
I do not care so much about closing the window behind me and would like to head for the location at speed.
Okay. You can move probably down and to the side. Go ahead and... Are you still invisible?
No.
Okay. Take your full move.
5, 10,
Diagonals count as 1. Yeah.
5. And by full move, do you mean regular move or double move? I went out a window. That's probably regular move, not double.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go with that.
I am here, and now I see lightning everywhere.
Yes.
Monsters around, people bleeding.
Well, you may not see. Yeah, okay. You don't see Rand from this angle, but you certainly see Antuxa is standing there, calling down the lightning with an arrow protruding from her upper body.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Yeah, Antuxa has the lightning in her eyes and the madness in her face, and is just reaching to the sky with an arrow sticking out of her shoulder.
And Ran is just having the expression of, mistakes were made, but nothing we can't solve with extreme violence.
And indeed, that is what I'm doing, is another 3 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
That is, in fact, well, I'm obliged to either do that or nothing. So.
Indeed. Check. Consciousness check. Okay. I would like it known, just for anyone who is listening, that when something has an HT of 12, they tend to make their consciousness checks and their death checks.
That's fair.
So this is just for anyone who is listening who doesn't know GURPS, an HT of 12 and high pain threshold. Keep things up and fighting. Speaking of up and fighting, shall we go to Ran, or should we pause at the moment because it is getting late and it's a school night?
I'm in favor of wrapping this up.
Okay.
But
it will probably wrap up soon. Oh, actually, you're doing your... one of the monsters, the one on the fence, is, in fact, having shot the arrow. It is not actually going to fast draw. It does get its turn, and its turn is to run off the map. It jumps off of the fence and takes off running.
Well, that won't do.
I am probably going to be assessing the penalty to grab that eye. You're going to hit the one that's next to you.
Yes.
Made by 2. Does it get a dodge?
It's being held in the air while being struck by lightning.
And it missed it anyway.
Okay.
It cannot writhe away.
14 points of fire damage. This thing has taken over triple my health in damage.
It has also probably taken over triple itself.
Not yet. Okay. I'll call that one the death check. You slam your lightsaber into it again as it dangles within the lightning storm of fury that Antuxa has called, and your lightsaber cuts through it in certainly a rather fatal way, because it immediately withers into desiccated and, well, somewhat less desiccated. Some of these bits seem to be rotting. But,
Lovely.
Dead. It appears to be dead.
How far can I move?
I would not advise moving through the lightning storm.
Well, yes. I intend to walk around it. I intend to stay out of the environment.
You can move 5 squares.
1, 2,
5 yards.
3, 4, 5. You there? We're not quite done with you.
It's not letting you see it. It should let you see it. That's weird.
And I'm assuming I can't telekinesis it back into the lightning because I already used an action.
I would say that is probably accurate, and you would also need to be making some vision rolls, etc. But at least you've let drop the annoying one.
Yes.
The annoying one does not get a turn. It's dead. rotate
We're learning it was
to
said
Sen. Well, yeah, okay. It is non-functional. You have dropped it.
Is there an alive one somewhere here?
It ran off the map.
It ran off the map. Let me, actually, all things considered, let me do one thing here and then do no, I don't want to do that. How do I take Fog of War off? I don't know how to make Fog of War go away. Crash, help.
What Fog of War are we talking about?
I was going to take away all of the
Oh.
It is run
I just
off.
assumed it was because it was buffer.
I'm okay.
It is run off the map.
Yeah, I'm okay with Theater of the Minded.
Theater of the Minded. Okay. Whoops. That's not
I
what
want to chase it.
Because of course.
I am not attempting a self-control roll. I want to chase it.
Okay. Go for that. I assume you're not going to run through the
I am not going to run through the
Okay. If you all right. Crom's house rules: sprint, get no attack or ability use, run up to twice your full move. It is currently there is, however, a wall that is about shoulder height on you, which is what it had been standing on, and it has jumped off it and is not precisely in your view from the angle that you're at. They're short.
I trust that I can go over a wall.
Indeed.
Over a wall and under a wall and home before dark.
And there's the 5, and if you're moving the full sprint, then this is the sad part about having the inability to go, I'll just draw more, and it's in the buffer here, so it's hard to draw more. Could I draw more? Can I draw?
So, over the wall and
go there. Come on, work, darn you. I'm going to move your character. 2, 3.
I can see things.
4. Moving the character off the map gives sight of.
Apparently.
If you're off the map, then you can see what's up the map. Okay.
Neat.
But you can't see what's on the map. Okay, that's weird
no,
too.
I can.
No.
When I select myself, I can't.
Oh, but when you don't select yourself, you get to. Okay, that's excellent. All right. This is approximately the thing. We'll just assume there's some rubble and thorns and whatnot. Ignore the pale circle that you may see on the map. That thing is. Oh, good. You probably don't see it.
No, I see it.
Oh, it's a light source. Ignore it. That's where I was trying to make sure that the map actually was lit. So it's a light bulb.
Did I get over the wall?
You were right at the wall.
Okay. In that case, I suppose I do not ignite my lightsaber because the only thing in front of me is a wall because I could not get over the wall this turn.
Indeed.
No, don't you dare.
And now we have completely run out of the location. I've completely run out of squares.
It's okay.
It is going to
I
be.
can solve this problem.
It's booking it. Okay, indeed. And, but Zentux's a turn.
Yes,
are you still on lightning or? Yes, is Zentux's a turn.
The lightning storm only lasts for 2 rounds.
Okay, and this is the second round.
This is the second round.
Third.
So
okay.
This is the third round.
Yes. So it is fading out.
You are going to have to remove the lightning circle.
I will attempt to remove the lightning circle. That's.
And.
Is that that? No, that's the measurement.
I believe it's a
rule of interesting. So 13, I acquire a new mental quirk.
What? Oh my gosh! What did it have?
That's what it says.
What the criff?
I rolled a 13 on the fright check table.
Oh, you took a fright check from the post-combat shakes?
Yes.
Are we technically at post combat?
I am making Antuxa roll her post-combat shakes, even though the two of you are still engaged in combat.
Because Antuxa's down. Well, not down, but
Antuxa is down, pretty much. Yeah. Antuxa has done the thing Antuxa does, and Antuxa is now... That took an unexpected amount out of her.
Rand knows the feeling.
And Antuxa is going to spend the next couple of turns figuring out what that quirk is.
Okay. 3D, add the amount. Look at the fright check table, 360. Okay. That's an interesting for 5 points. Okay, well, you can always buy off any quirks if you don't like them.
But that actually is an interesting question that I'm going to ask after the session.
Indeed. All right. Tux's turn. Rand's turn.
Well, this thing is trying to get away, and I can't get to it fast enough, so we all know what I'm going to roll. I would like a parabolic
You're going to
arc.
roll?
Telekinesis other. I would like a parabolic arc sending it towards Sen. If I can
Make
get
your
it
roll,
to
let's
land
see.
going through cacti, I'm doing it.
Do your roll. There aren't that many thorn bushes around.
Wow.
Critical success. Where do you want to put this critter?
Where do you want to go today?
I would like it to be waist deep in the ground next to Sen, feet up. I know that's not going to happen, but that is what I am attempting to do. It's up to the GM.
You are
decide
going to
how
pile
much
drive
happens.
its head.
Yes, I want to pile drive it into the ground next to Sen so Sen can go choppity choppity chop.
Give me a moment to contemplate what I'm going to do with this. Okay. I'm going to make a roll for you, and we will see how that goes. Excuse me. All right. Do that. It lands on its head. It plows into the ground. I am going to say that it is going to take 2d damage from this.
My goal was to make it be a little bit more 2D, so...
Let's make its first death check. I'm dreadfully sorry, Sen. It lands on the ground. It plows into the ground. Its skull does kind of horrible, gross, blorchy things, and it starts withering from the head that is touching the ground up to its toes, and by the time it collapses, it is bones and some rotting viscera.
I'm terribly sorry, Sen.
They had all this fun without you.
I tried to toss it to you, but I tossed it a bit too hard. It's probably the blood loss. I think I need to sit down. And maybe I need a new shirt. I pick at it a little bit.
Well, you didn't explode it on me this time, so I'd say your aim is getting better.
I'll take that as a compliment. And Tuxa and I think, are going to go inside and sit down. And Tuxa, are you coming?
I'll be there in a moment, darling.
Wait, blood loss?
Give a vision roll at -3.
The front of my
Is that
outfit is a
-3
different
after
color.
I...
That's -3 after your night vision qualifies at the moment, I think.
Okay.
With a certain amount of roll and shout here. Brand's over there.
No, that was not
okay.
right. I
You have a
accidentally...
-3.
And then
accidentally-
it applied the -3 to the result.
Okay, made it by 3. Ran is that's a great big cut across his chest, and the shirt kind of gaping open, and that's a lot of dark there instead of, what you'd assume would be the normal skin tone for a human.
Maybe you should lean on me. Maybe you should both lean on me.
I feel like a bucket of blood.
A leaky bucket.
There's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, dear Liza. That song is not canon in the Star Wars universe, so Rand does not know it.
But it did pop into my head.
Then mission accomplished. Might I suggest this seems like an excellent point to end it on?
I do think that is a good idea. Does anyone have any final in-character things to say?
I do appreciate the offer, darling, but I have my cane. Well, such as it is. I'll meet you inside. I'll take one more stroll around the property to make sure we didn't miss anyone.
She says, with an arrow sticking out of her chest. Well, shoulder.
If I die, well, I'll just heal myself. Never stopped me before.
From anyone else, I would say that's
Relax. It's a flesh wound, and besides, the arrow is still there, which means I'm not leaking. Perhaps the outfit can be saved.
Okay, maybe you two should go in and I should finish the patrol.
I agree with Sen.
Well, if you insist on having all the fun.
I think the two of us have had plenty of fun. Sen's the one who's been missing out.
Very well. Let's take pains to make sure that civilians don't run across the,
We've never done it before.
What do you call it when something's a corpse again? A re-corpse? Anyway.
You certainly don't have no recorpse here.
I know, we've never done it before, but before we haven't actually been, not responsible, I suppose, but they'll be more difficult to deal with if they have to deal with, the horrors.
So I made my telekinesis other roll by 9. They have achieved a low planetary orbit.
The gruesome bits of gore that were left over?
I'm just tossing them over the fence as hard as I can.
All right. Ta-da. They're over the fence. Shall I assume that Sen is going to harass the pair of them to going back inside the building?
Doesn't need to harass the pair
Yes.
because Ran is actively trying to get Intuxa to come inside. So they can both sit down and totally ruin a couch or something.
Well, speaking of the
Yes,
couch, go on, Intuxa.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I am going to insist that we clip this arrow off near the skin so that I can at least, pull the outfit off of my shoulder before we pull it out and get blood on everything.
If you're
We have,
aiming...
a private shower or...
The best part is this isn't a new quirk. This is just Intuxa being Intuxa still.
Yeah. Oh no, Intuxa's new quirk is... Intuxa's new quirk is also actually in line with her character, but...
If you're going to add it, remember to add it to the version via the sidebar.
Yes. I have never once double-clicked on my character icon in order to open my character sheet. Not a single time.
Anyway, as you were going inside and getting Antuxa over to the couch, which is on the far end away from the front door, but, well, it is the couch at least and not an uncomfortable chair or the dirty floor, there's a window over by the couch. Well, not by it, but within view of it. There's, that chair in the corner, and there's the window, and it's open. And I think that's where we should possibly end it. I think that's where we should end it.
But if we end it here, how will everyone know that Eo's mom writes books?
Oh, right. Well, they can go to elizabethmccoy.com and find out. And speaking of places they could go to find things out.
Well, they can find out.
Visit their local library.
Well, yes, they can.
They have to ask. They have to ask, though.
And while they're at their local library, they should request Theo's mom's books.
Because they're available through the.
But also they can go to. But also they can go to.
And also they can go to aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel to find all 4 of our current campaigns and all the ones we've run previously. Subscribe to them via RSS. If you want to follow us on the Fediverse, you can see our out-of-context quotes and when new episodes go live at is.aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel. And if you want to support us financially, because every hobby is a bottomless pit that we try to fill with money, you can go to patreon.com/cogwheelgaming and help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shan, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy.
Until next time, this is Beth saying, dadgummit, what the criftage? Why are they even here? They shouldn't be here. Wretched apprentices need to make more. Who put this thorn bush here? Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bonus points if it's one of the ones that Rand tossed out of his way. Good night, everyone.